Right, welcome back. Good morning, children. Today we are going to handle one more specific and special case of law of conservation of momentum, and at the same time exclusively what is the apparent weight of a man. Apparent weight of a man in a lift. It's a special case. More oftenly we are getting questions both in board examinations as well as in competitive examinations also, and it is our general experience. We feel some variation in our weight while we are inside a moving lift. For example, we are inside a lift and when the lift is moving up, it's a general experience and we feel a little bit heavier when compared to we are at rest. We feel a little bit heavier. Is it or not? Definitely, when the lift is ascending, we are inside the lift, we feel heavier. Same is the case when the lift is descending, we feel a little bit lighter than the original. Now we are going to formulate the different cases. Number one, imagine it is case 1. This is lift and this is the position of a person inside it, and to measure the weight, imagine you are on a weight measuring scale. Generally weight is measured by spring balance, you know very well. Spring balance means you can find in our laboratory like this. It is a spring balance and it is a scale, and to this it is a weight hanger. When the particular load is suspended to this, this scale gives the weight of this body. For example, if m and mg is the acceleration due to gravity, w is equal to mg, this quantity gives weight of the body. Right, now case 1. Listen carefully. When the lift is at rest, that means it is not moving either upwards or downwards. If the lift is at rest, then what is the weight of the person inside the lift? That means it is not neither accelerating upward nor downward. In this case, the apparent weight, here to differentiate weight from apparent weight, I am writing W dash, its apparent weight is equal to mg. Apparent weight is equal to mg. That means what? Apparent weight is equal to true weight, actual weight, that is mg only. When the lift is at rest. Case 2, when the lift is moving with constant velocity, uniform velocity, shall we say, constant velocity. What is apparent weight? In this case also, as the velocity remains constant, there is no acceleration. Since there is no acceleration, it is physically equal to the case 1. That means when the lift is at rest, we already discussed at rest. Like this, these two cases are same. In this case also, apparent weight is equal to original weight, that is mg only. Okay, that means already while discussing Newton's laws of motion, specifiedly I mentioned one word. That means when a body is moving with constant velocity is identical to a body at rest, when we are speaking about the variation of weight. Now we are going to discuss one more case in this. Case 3. In the previous case, we study what is apparent weight of a man when the lift is stationary, that means at rest, and when the lift is moving with a constant velocity. In these cases, in both the cases, the apparent weight of a man is equal to true weight, what is called actual weight, which is nothing but mg. Now let us check in this case. The lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a. With an acceleration a. What are the different forces on this man? Here weight mg acts vertically downward and it is on the floor of the lift. Similarly, the normal reaction by the floor of the lift on the man or acts vertically upwards. Now I am trying to write the equilibrium condition for this one. What are the downward forces, what are the upward forces, and what is the net force acting on this one? Since it is moving upwards, shall I write this one as F is equal to, what is the downward force? Mg. What is the upward force? R. That is why R minus Ma. Whereas Fa is nothing but Ma is equal to R minus Mg. If we write them properly, R is equal to, when this comes to this side, Mg plus Ma. Nothing but, if we take M as common, the equation becomes M into G plus A, where this R is nothing but apparent weight of the man. Apparent weight of the man, which is nothing but W dash is equal to M into G plus A. This is the final equation. That means when the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a, the apparent weight of the man inside the lift is given by W dash is equal to M into G plus A. In some more publications, we will find this like this also. Apparent weight W dash is equal to M into G. I am taking Mg as common. Then it is nothing but 1 plus A by G, like this also. And this can be written as W dash is equal to Mg is nothing but actual weight W into 1 plus A by G. This is the equation. Like this also we can write. Here the most important thing to mind is, in the formula, when lift is ascending with an acceleration a, it is nothing but G plus A. Same case with a small twist. A lift is moving upwards with a deceleration of, be careful, with a deceleration. That means actually in the formula M into G plus A, if we substitute negative value of acceleration, we get M into G minus A. Be alert. When it is accelerating plus A, when it is moving upwards only, but with the deceleration, it is nothing but M into G minus A. This is the case. Anyhow, apparent weight is equal to, it's a true weight plus something. It's a true weight, actual weight plus something. What it indicates? That means it is clear that from the above equation, apparent weight is greater than original weight. Apparent weight is greater than original weight. In the previous case, that means in the previous case means when the lift is at rest, apparent weight is equal to actual weight. When the lift is moving up or down with constant velocity, then also apparent weight is equal to original weight. But case 3, when the lift is moving upwards with an acceleration a, the apparent weight is given by M into G plus A. Here clearly apparent weight is greater than true weight, that is called actual weight. Are you sure? Now I am considering one more case now. One more case, which is nothing but case 4. This is case 4. That means when lift is moving up, lift is moving upwards with an acceleration, when the lift is moving downwards, with an acceleration a. See, that means the same figure we can use, but the small change is here, instead of moving upward, the lift is moving down with an acceleration a. Now, I am going to derive the condition for this case, that means when the lift is moving downwards. See here, what is the net force? Here the net force is acting downward. That's why, can we frame this one? The net force F is equal to, here since it is moving down, this downward force is dominating. That's why I am writing mg minus r. This. What is r? The normal reaction which is acting on the man by the floor of this lift, vertically upward, weight mg downward. Since the lift is moving down, the difference of downward and upward forces is equal to the net force acting. So F is equal to mg minus r. Come on, replace the terms. F is equal to ma. Ma is equal to mg minus r. Simple thing, I am bringing this normal reaction to left hand side because that is the subject what we are going to calculate. That's why normal reaction R is equal to, see, this is mg, when plus ma goes to this side, this becomes minus ma. Okay, na? Nothing but m bracket begins g minus a. This is the condition where this normal reaction can be rewrite as W dash apparent weight of the man is equal to m into g minus a. As we discussed in the previous case, apparent weight can also be written as mg into 1 minus a by g. In the previous case, mg into 1 plus a by g this is. Here it is 1 minus a by g, nothing but apparent weight is equal to original weight into 1 minus a by g. So, what is the inference drawn from this? What is the inference drawn this? What you notice from this? See here, the apparent weight is equal to original weight and minus some factor. Original weight minus of something. It clearly indicates that this apparent weight is less than the original weight. Apparent weight is less than original. That's why only when we are inside a lift, just imagine when you are in a lift and the lift is descending down, you feel a little bit lighter. This you feel a little bit lighter. It indicates what? Your apparent weight is supposed to be less than this one, less than the actual weight. Good? Okay, now a question for you, special question for you. You can consider this as case 5. When the lift is freely falling, when the lift is freely falling, what is the condition of this? Freely falling means it's falling down. That's why apparent weight can be written as m into g minus a. This is okay. Falling down, that means you can replace the acceleration with acceleration due to gravity, because for a freely falling body, the acceleration is nothing but g. That's why apparent weight is equal to m into g minus, in the place of a, simply it is again g, nothing but m into 0, which turns to 0. So, what is the apparent weight in case of a freely falling body? Freely falling body, that is 0. Very important question also. What is the apparent weight of a freely falling body? That means when the, unfortunately, when the cable of the lift was broken and the lift was falling freely, what is the apparent weight of a man inside the lift? That is nothing but 0. These are the different cases when the lift is moving, when the lift is not moving, that means it is at rest, then apparent weight is equal to actual weight. Case 2, when the lift is moving up or down with constant velocity. Constant velocity means acceleration is 0. In that case also, apparent weight is equal to real weight, that is called true weight, nothing but actual weight. Case 3, when the lift is moving up with an acceleration a, here the apparent weight is equal to m into g plus a, be careful. When the lift is moving down with some acceleration, apparent weight is equal to m into g minus a. In this case, clearly apparent weight is found to be, noticed to be less than the actual weight. If the cable of the lift was broken and the lift is freely falling, the weight of the apparent weight of the man inside the lift is noticed to be 0. That's why the weight of a freely falling body is considered to be 0. This is about lift problem. Right. Now, I am going to explain one more article in laws of motion in connecting to tension. Tension is nothing but one form of a force. Force in case of more than one body. Here I am considering 3 bodies which were connected by strings, but the condition is the strings must be inextensible and light strings. Then only what I am going to say, these laws are obeyed, because if they are having considerable amount of mass, then we have to consider the masses of the strings which connects the bodies also. So, be alert. M1, M2, M3, these are the 3 bodies connected by means of strings, and here I am applying some force, tension T, which is nothing but force simply. That means I am pulling this string by applying some force, then the total bodies are said to be in motion. In such cases, what about the tension between first mass and second mass? Here why I am using opposite arrow marks are, that means if the mass is pulled with the tension T1, say, it is same exact equal and opposite force by this one. That is why I am writing in opposite direction. The tension required to pull the M2, which is again in contact with this M1, that means totally we have to consider this one as a system, M1 and M2, while calculating tension. Similarly, while calculating what this is total tension in the string, we have to consider the total 3 masses as a system. Now, how to draw the free diagram, that is called block diagram of this one. See, simply speaking, first I am writing the equation of motion for the mass M1, for the mass M1. How can we write this equation? See, what are the different forces? Here tension in this case is T1. Let us suppose this system is moving with an acceleration A. Fine, then tension T1 is nothing but M1A, because all the system is moving with some acceleration. This is A. That means there is no possibility for different blocks having different configurations. Simply the whole system is moving with some acceleration A. For the mass M1, we can say T1 is equal to M1A. In the same way, can you write for the mass M2? For the mass M2, that means I am speaking about this block. M2, what are the different forces acting on it? If you observe carefully, T2 is the tension acting in the forward direction, whereas T1 is in opposite way. That means the block diagram for this one is like this. Okay, na? Like this. This is T2, whereas this is T1, and the system is moving with an acceleration A. In return, nothing but F is equal to ma is acting in this direction. So, in such a case, we can write T2 minus T1. Why I am writing T2 minus T1? Because this force is dominating. That's why only it is possible to move in the forward direction. That's why it is nothing but T2 minus T1 is equal to, what is the net force acting? Nothing but M2A. This is M2A from the free diagram of this one. In the same way, for we go for, can we go for the mass M3? For the mass M3, very simple if you observe carefully. Here what is the force acting? T3. What is the reverse force acting? That is T2. What is the net acceleration of this one? A. That's why we can write the same as T3 minus T2 is equal to, what is the mass? M3. With what acceleration it is moving? It is ma. So, these are the different cases. This is case 1, when we want to calculate the tension, the string which connects M1 only, this equation. If we want to calculate the tension which connects both M1 M2, this is equation number 2, and this is the case when we are going to calculate what is the tension T3 which is pulling the system, this is equation 3. Altogether, what is the acceleration of the system, sir? It is one more question. What is the acceleration of the system? Let us check. The three bodies are moving with constant acceleration A. Acceleration A. Very simply, try to answer this question. According to Newton's law, we have F is equal to ma. F is equal to ma. From that, acceleration A is equal to, if F is equal to ma, what would be the acceleration? A is equal to F by m. But be meaningful, what do you mean by this F is? Some forces are acting in opposite direction, some forces acting in the forward direction. Here, what do you mean by F? This is called unbalanced force. Try to use the proper word. This is called unbalanced force. Unbalanced force. By, what do you mean by mass? Since there are more than one mass, you have to write what is this total mass of the system. Total mass of the system. From the figure, it is clear acceleration A is equal to, what is unbalanced? It is named as T3 by, come on, what is the total mass of this one? It's nothing but m1 plus m2 plus m3. This is the case. This is the acceleration of this system. What is the tension? In the same way, if you want to calculate what is the total tension, this one, total tension, this. Total tension means the tension applied, nothing but force used to pull this system. In the figure, it is nothing but T3 is equal to, F is equal to ma we have, F is equal to ma. What do you mean by m? m1 plus m2 plus m3 into acceleration A. F is equal to, this is just like, it is just like F is equal to m into A. Since there are more than one mass, we have to take the sum of all the masses and the acceleration of the system, what we calculate just now. This is nothing but. Now, I am going to explain one more case under connected bodies headings. In the previous case, different blocks were connected by means of a string which is pulled with force. And what I am going to explain in this case, all the blocks may not be on the horizontal floor. Let us consider this one, it is a combination. One block is placed on a horizontal and another is suspended from other end of the string which passes over a frictionless pulley. So, let T is the tension in this string. If this system moves, then we can calculate what is the acceleration of this system. What is the acceleration A of this system? Yes, before starting this, number of times I am telling you, so don't try to by heart the formula. Let us draw them with your own knowledge, what you know from the previous theory classes. When this system will move, there is possibility for the block to move rightward or leftward. Let us check the possibilities. When this block will be pulled up, if we applied some force on this one and if we pull it on the horizontal, then there is possibility for the block M2 to move upwards. In the figure, there is no such force which is pulling this M1. That's why, so what is the possibility? Next possibility, if this M2 is greater than M1, see, M2 is greater than M1, yes, then we can expect that this will move downwards. Let an acceleration A is produced on the system. Now, we are going to calculate what are the accelerations and what are the tensions. As we discussed in the previous class, just consider the two cases separately. That means that is called free diagram of block M1 and free diagram of block M2 you can consider. So, I am writing condition for, this is the condition for M1, I am speaking about M1. Here, what are the different forces acting on the block M1? See, this is a block diagram. So, as per the diagram concerned, only there are two forces. One is tension T towards right side, and the second one, if it is moving with a force F1, if it is a force F, then we have to balance these two. T is equal to M1A. This is case 1 condition. Well, it is nothing but if it is moving with an acceleration A, because of this tension, T is equal to M1A. This is equation 1 and important one also. In the same way, can you write the equation for the mass m2? For m2, can you write the condition? See, here m2 is acting vertically downward. What is the upward force? It is nothing but tension. The resultant of these two is equal to net force acting on this one. What is the resultant? Since it is m2, m2g is the downward force, which is nothing but weight of the block. What is the upward force? It is nothing but tension. This is equal to resultant force, which is nothing but m2a. m2a. Once again I am repeating. In the previous case, it is tension in the string only. This tension in the string causes an acceleration a. That's why T can be replaced with m1a. Case 2, since m2 is greater than m1, this is moving downward, whereas it was pulled by this string. So what is the net force? m2g is the downward force and tension is upward force. Then downward force minus upward force is equal to m2a. This is equation 2. Okay. So from this I am doing one thing. I am going to derive what is the expression for acceleration, whereas what is the expression for the tension in the string also. Just substitute the value of t from equation 1 in equation 2. Let us suppose this is equation 2. Now I am going to substitute these two values. So see, m2g as it is. From equation 1 we have t is equal to m1a. That's why minus m1a is equal to m2a. By arranging these words in a proper way, we got, see, it is nothing but I am taking this m1 to other side, then m1a plus m2a is equal to m2g, right? Take a as common, then we get m1 plus m2 into is equal to m2g. Last step, therefore acceleration a is equal to m2 by m1 plus m2 into g. That's all. This is the final expression used to find out the acceleration of the system. What is the value? m2 by m1 plus m2 into g. This is the formula for acceleration. Can you calculate what would be the tension of this? In this case, what will be the tension? Very simple. Do one thing. What basic formula we have? What from equation 1 we have T1 is equal to m1a. Am I right? What is the value of a? From, let us suppose it is equation 3. From equation 3 we have a value. That's why substitute this value. Therefore tension T is equal to m1 into, in the place of a I am substituting this value, which gives m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 whole into g. This is another formula used to calculate the tension in the string. See how easy this is. How easy. No need to calculate. No need to by heart. So very simply from the basic information, F is equal to ma and resultant forces. When the forces are acting in the opposite direction, see here m2g, its weight is acting vertically downward, tension is acting vertically upward. So what is the resultant force? Downward force minus upward force. Downward force minus upward force is equal to net force. This net force causes an acceleration a. That's why F is equal to ma. Actually F is equal to m2a. By substitution we can calculate either acceleration or tension in the string. Now we will consider connected bodies in one more type. In case 1 we consider different bodies which are on the horizontal plane connected by means of string, and in that case what is the acceleration of the system, what is the tension in the particular in the given case. In the case 2, one is on the horizontal plane and one is hanging down, that means in the vertical plane. In this case it is partially, it is not neither horizontal, this is, and it is on an inclined plane. Let the angle of inclination is theta, angle of inclination is theta, and m2 is greater than m1, otherwise this motion is not possible. Now see what are the different cases act on this. Its weight m2g will act vertically downward. Okay, na? It is m2g. Because of this one, this system undergoes motion which gives an acceleration a. That's why from Newton's very famous law F is equal to ma, I am going to calculate the acceleration. Then acceleration is equal to force by mass clearly. Which force? That is important. This is called a net force acting. Net force means unbalanced. If you know what are the different forces, you can find out what is the unbalanced force, what is the net force acting on it. See now, here M2G acting downward, M2G is acting downward, and the component of this M1G is acting vertical. Not M1G, the component of this one. That means if you resolve this one into two mutually perpendicular components, we get the component in the vertical direction. That's why M2G is the downward, and the component of M1G sin theta I am considering. This is called net force. Net force is equal to M2G minus M1G into sin theta by what is the total mass? M1 plus M2. So this is the formula for acceleration of the body. So for this what we need is the values of M1 and M2. Of course, what is the angle of inclination? Angle of inclination. It is in well agreement with the previous one. See, if sin theta, that means if this inclination is 90 degrees, sin 90 goes to 1. It is in good agreement with the previous case. Now let us check what is the tension in this one. Simply, just like in the previous case, I am not wasting my time and your time also. Simply it is nothing but the substitution. We get tension in the string is given by M1 M2 into 1 plus sin theta into Z divided by total mass of this system, nothing but M1 plus M2. Let us check once again. Here two bodies are connected by means of an inextensible light string whose mass is negligible. One is placed on inclined plane and other one is hanged by means of the string which is passed over a frictionless pulley, and this M2 is greater than the M1. This system begins to move, that means this moves downward whereas it is climbing up the inclination with certain acceleration. To calculate the acceleration, what technique we employed? From Newton's law, we have clearly net force by mass gives acceleration. Net force means M2G is acting vertically downward, and the component of this M1 we have to subtract M2G minus M1G sin theta by total mass means M1 plus M2. This gives acceleration of this one, whereas tension in the string is given by M1 M2 into 1 plus sin theta G by M1 plus M2, just to be derived in case of the previous case. Now let us consider one more example in which the two blocks are on two inclined planes. In this case, M1 and M2 are two masses connected by means of string passed over a frictionless pulley. Let alpha and beta are the two angles of inclination. Alpha is the inclination of this surface and beta is the inclination of this surface, and M2 is supposed to be greater than M1. When such a system is released from equilibrium, the motion will takes in which the force will dominate. In this case, we have to consider the components of these weights only. What is the weight of the first body? M1G. What is the weight of the second body? M2G. Since we are taking only the component of this one, we have to consider M1G sin alpha is the angle of inclination in this case. When we are speaking about the second mass, M2G sin, what is the angle of inclination for this? This is beta. Only we have to consider the component of these two masses only. Let us try to write what is the acceleration of this system. That means when the system is released, this force dominates, hence it moves downward, this moves upwards with some acceleration. What is the formula for this acceleration? It is undoubtedly very simple. What is this unbalanced force? Shall we call it as net force? Unbalanced. That means, see, in this direction, what is the force acting? M2G sin beta minus here, what about this one? You have to subtract this one because it is moving downward, it is moving upward. That's why it is nothing but m1g sine alpha divided by what is the total mass of the system, m1 plus m2. It is nothing but m1 plus m2. That's why if we write them in order, it is nothing but acceleration A is equal to m2 sine beta minus m1 sine alpha whole into g, just I am taking g as common, divided by the mass of this system is nothing but m1 plus m2. m1 plus m2. If we substitute these values in the balanced conditions, we can write what is the tension in the string. Tension in the string is nothing but m1 m2, it is nothing but m1 m2 bracket begins sine alpha plus sine beta into g divided by the mass of this one, nothing but m1 plus m2. We can use this here. Two masses by name m1 and m2, condition is m1 is greater than m2, are suspended by means of a string which is passed over a frictionless pulley. Let T be the tension in the string. Since m2 is greater, when we release this system, what happened? This mass m2 moves downward with certain acceleration, and at the same time this m1 moves up with the same acceleration. Let T be the tension. Using block diagram knowledge, I am drawing what is the block diagram of m1. Block diagram means what are the net forces acting on it. You see, m1g is acting vertically downward, tension is acting vertically upward. That's why what is the net, what is the resultant? T minus m1, T minus m1g. This is the resultant force. That resultant forces causes acceleration. According to F is equal to ma, I can replace this net force as m1a. Say it equation 1. For the mass m2, since it is moving downward, what is the block diagram of this one? m2g is acting vertically downward. Tension is in the opposite direction. So what is the difference between these two? The difference between these two is nothing but m2g minus t. m2g minus t is equal to, since it causes an acceleration a downwards, I am writing as m2a. From 1 and 2, by solving, by adding equation 1 and equation 2, and after calculation we got acceleration is nothing but m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into g, and by substituting this in the above equation we can calculate the tension, which is nothing but 2 m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into g, right.